All right. Hello, everybody. It is time, and we're going to start our third Math Tech Minute. So hopefully every time runs a little bit smoother. But again, bear with me because it's the first, or it's just the third time that I've been trying out Google Hangouts on air. So hopefully it'll work okay. In a few minutes, Lindsay Blass is going to co-host with me today. And she is the middle school math and tech integration coach. So we are, between the two of us, going to go through almost 10 of our favorite Chrome extensions for you. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to actually start by going over a little bit about what an extension is. So if you're not sure, you can see what a Chrome extension is, how to add it and manage it. So I'm going to flip my screen here and share this. Okay, so first I'm going to kind of give you a little more information about what a Chrome extension is. So up here in my Chrome browser, well, and even backing up a little bit, so Chrome extensions are specific to the Chrome browser. So if you're using your Chrome browser to browse the internet, you can add these extensions. And extensions are just like little tools that you can add on that basically just make your life a little bit easier in your Chrome app. So if you are in your Chrome browser and you go to apps, or you go to, I believe the Google main screen should also have this option. You can go here to your Google menu. Then you can access the Chrome Web Store, which is where you're going to go to add on your extensions. So from here, I would hit even more from Google. I'm just going to go back to the apps button up here. And down in the bottom is the Web Store button. So if I click on the Web Store button, this is where I can find extensions. So I could click over here on the left on extensions, and I can search through extensions, or we're going to give you a list of our favorites today. So you could, if you want to add them into your Chrome browser, click here to search, and you could search for specific extensions. And so here you'll see these are apps, but we're actually talking about extensions. These are what add these little buttons up here on your Chrome browser. If you're using a Chromebook, then same idea. In the Chromebook, there's actually an app for the Chrome Web Store, so you can go straight to the Chrome Web Store, and then you can add on these extensions, and they will show up in your browser when you open the internet browser. So I will back up here. I'm also going to show you how to manage an extension. So if for some reason, you can see I've added quite a few extensions, and at some point I start to get overwhelmed and I don't like having so many up here. So I can hide them, or I can delete them if it's something that I don't end up using a lot, just to kind of keep my space a little bit cleaner. So if I go to one of these extensions and hover over, I will then use a 2-finger click to pop up a new menu. So that just means 2 fingers, 1 click on my mouse pad or my trackpad. So I can 2-finger 1 click, and then I get this menu that pops up. So my choice is I can hide it, which means it will still be installed, but it's going to be hidden, so it's not taking up space there on my extensions menu. Or I can go to manage, and then if there's an extension that I want to disable because I don't want it to be running for some reason, and I'll show you an example of why you might want that in a minute. Or if you just want to delete it and get it off your screen because you're not using it, you could do that here. So there's a little trash to delete it, or I can turn it off here. There are a couple extensions if you're logged into your Campbell account that are automatically loaded and you actually don't have permission to disable them. So like here, you'll see this one was added by our IT department, and so I can't disable or enable that one, but I did hide it because I never use it, and so I didn't want it to pop up in my extensions menu. So that is the first part of our presentation, and then now I'm going to kind of go through some of our extensions, and then when Lindsay jumps in, she has a few of her favorites that she's going to share too. So I'm going to start with, oh, and then I do want to back up. We do have a Q&A, so I don't know. I see there's a couple of viewers live. So if you haven't been a live viewer before, you should, on the left side of your Hangout window, be able to hover over and find a Q&A button. That will let you ask questions live. Or there's also the showcase option. And so on the showcase option, I've already loaded in links to all of the extensions that we're going to talk about. And so it'll link you right to that extension in the Chrome Web Store. So if you want to load it, you can just click on that link and go directly to the page to load it up. So, okay, the first extension I'm going to go over is Cami. So a lot of you have already used Cami. It's a PDF annotation tool that is available for Chrome. And they actually have an extension, which is really nice, so that you can open a PDF pretty quickly right into Cami. So I will show you that. I'm going to go back to screen sharing so that you can see each of these as we go through them. Entire screen and share. Okay, so if I go to my Chrome browser, this little button up here is the Cami the Cami extension, excuse me. So if I click on that, it will drop me right into Cami nice and quickly, which is really nice. And then I can either drag and drop a file in, or I can open something from my drive, or you can see all of my recent PDF files that I've opened. These all open automatically in Cami for me. But if you don't have Cami set up to open automatically, this extension is nice to have up here. If you haven't used Cami, I would definitely check it out. It makes it really easy to mark up a PDF, and you can now collaboratively mark up a PDF. So if I, for example, let's see, open up one of the PDFs I opened recently, I can come up here to this share button, and if I click on upload, it sends me a link that I can then share with other people. And so here's the link that I would send to someone, and I can collaboratively be annotating a PDF now, which is really great. This is kind of a new feature in Cami, because before it was only in the paid version, but now you can live time be collaborating with someone else in a PDF file, which is great. And then over here are all your tools for using Cami. So your draw and text, highlight, and all that good stuff. And when you're done with all of your annotations, this is actually, it will save into your Google Drive or onto your desktop. If you're on a Chromebook, it has to go in your drive, but you could also, if you're on your MacBook, export it to your computer. So that is the Cami extension. That is my first favorite extension for you today. The second extension that I'm going to show you is Screencastify, which I noticed was already pushed out to the Chromebooks. I've been in a few classrooms in the last couple weeks, and on the student Chromebook, Screencastify was already there. So that is this one up here, Screencastify, and it allows you to record screencasts. So you can record your computer screen either with audio or without audio. So if I wanted to, a lot of the tutorials that I record and post on my website or on the EdTech website, I use Screencastify for. It's great for students too. I had the students working in Scratch Junior the other day, and there's no way to share their projects out of Scratch Junior from the Chromebooks. So we just made a quick screencast. And so once that is loaded, what happens is when you click on the extension button, you get a little pop-up menu here. And then you can choose to record your desktop. You can turn the audio on or off. So the students could be recording themselves explaining something on their screen. Maybe they were working on a Google document and you want them to explain their thinking on the document. They could make sure the mic's on. They don't need to click anything here. And then they just click the orange start recording button, and it will prompt them, what do you want to record? So I just want to record maybe this screen here, and hit share. And then on the bottom down here, there's actually a little Screencastify block that comes up and says stop sharing. So until you click that, it automatically it's now recording me talking about my screen. So I can be describing my work, talking about my process. And when I click stop, then up here you see hit share. And then on the bottom down here, there's actually it's now replaying for me my screencast that I made. I can title it, and it's saved automatically into Google Drive. So that is Screencastify. I'm going to break for just a minute and go back to my window here and see if we have any questions so far. Okay, no questions. So I'm going to keep moving forward. That was Cami and Screencastify. All right. The next one is SpeakIt. So again, if you jumped in a little bit later, if you hover over the left side of your screen, one of the button options there is Showcase, I believe, or else I don't know if it's like popped up live. But if it's not, you should have a button to click on called Showcase, and that will give you the links to all of the extensions that we go over. So I'm on now the third extension that we're going to cover, and that is SpeakIt. So SpeakIt is really cool. I'm going to share my screen again. It is a great tool for reading aloud text on your web screen. So here on my screen, this is the SpeakIt extension. And I'm going to stop talking in just a, well, let's get a screen with some words on it first. Find Joe Bowler. Okay, so what happens when I click on SpeakIt is it starts working automatically. So I wanted to get my screen open first. Maybe open an article, something that I might need to read for class, or maybe I'm doing some research. And we can have the extension read to us. So once I start play, it will read me the screen. Oh, and it doesn't seem to like this one. So I'm going to press stop on that and see if I can get something else to show how that works. Here we go. Let's try. We need an article, sorry guys. Okay, here's something with a little bit more text. So what should happen when I click on this is that it usually just starts reading aloud my screen. And it doesn't seem to like this, but it usually works really, really well. So we're having some technical issues, but what you would see is this would be running just like it is, and then it should be reading aloud the text that's on my screen. It worked yesterday, so I don't know what's going on today, but that's a great one for maybe if you have some struggling readers and you want them to be able to do some research, but they're having trouble reading the websites to themselves, maybe for your English language learners. There's also another one called Chromebooks that's really similar. So that would be another good one to try out as well. All right, I'm going to go into the fourth one, and that is ad block. So ad block is really cool. It does kind of what it says. It blocks ads that are on your screen, or it blocks most of the ads that come up on your screen. So if I do, say, a search for best Chrome extensions. All right, and you're going to want to watch the right up here. Here's the ad block extension up in the top of my screen, the little hand on the stop sign. If you watch that, when I load up one of these screens, you'll actually see it counting how many ads it's blocking on the screen. So it's kind of nice for cleaning up your screen. It gets rid of some of the distracting things on the sides when the kids are working on projects. We'll click on that and see if we get some ads blocked. So yeah, up here you can see 14, 19, 21. So right now it's blocking 23. It keeps going. It's blocking, wow, over 30 ads on this page. So there's a lot of advertising that would normally come up on this page. You can see, and it's probably what all this blank space is right here. All these ads are being blocked by ad block automatically. And all I have to do if I want to turn that on or off is when you click on this, you'll see here's all on this page what's being blocked. I can pause it if I want to pause it for some reason, or if I just don't want to run it on this page, but I just leave it running all the time. I typically don't need any of that advertising there, and especially when I have the kids searching for something, I don't really need all the advertising on the page, so I just keep ad block running all the time. It's really great. Okay, and I'm going to pause for just another second, check for questions. Okay, no questions yet. I'm going to try and add Lindsay again real quick too, because we're having some technical difficulties again. One of these times I'll get it though. All right. Okay, I'm going to go back to screen sharing and show you guys a couple more that I have. So screen share, entire screen. All right. Okay, so I also have the Evernote Web Clipper. So if you use Evernote very often, the Web Clipper is really cool. One of the things I like the best about it is the screen annotating features. I'm a big Evernote user. And so this is really handy for saving all sorts of things to Evernote. You can just clip an article and all those things. But what is really neat is the screenshot feature. I'm going to see if I can get out of that. Okay, if I click on, so I'm already logged in to my Evernote account, but if I click on screenshot, now it's gonna let me take a quick clip of whatever I wanna write on or annotate or save. I'll click that, and then now all my annotation tools come up. So I can draw a little arrow in there, I can highlight my screen, I can change the color of my highlighter. I can pixelate something if I want. So if there's like a picture of a student's face here and I don't want to show the face, I can pixelate it, leave a little marker. So all sorts of cool ways to annotate this. And then I just pick the notebook that this is going to save into. And if I want to tag it, I can tag it and then hit save. And now that has clipped and saved right into my Evernote account. So I really, really like that. That's a really cool one. If I want to share it now, I can share it. But I use Evernote a lot for saving articles that I want to read later or saving information that I want to look at another time. So that is a great extension for that as well. All right. I also was going to show you Google Translate. I don't have that one downloaded for myself, but that is a really cool feature, especially if you have some language learners in your class that are struggling with reading your screens, reading your web pages. So you can go into extensions and Google Translate. And here's Google Translate here. So Google Translate does just have a web app, or you can just grab it on the website. But here you can also add to Chrome an extension. So if you're reading a screen, they can click on the extension and just highlight the word they want translated, and it'll just translate that word right there on the screen for them. So you don't have to go out to a separate app or a separate website and type in anything. It just highlight and translates, which seems like a really awesome tool for helping out some of our kiddos that need some translation help. And then the other one, Google extension that I wanted to point out is Google Hangouts. So if you use Google Hangouts, which is how I'm recording this is a Hangout on air, but you can also just do private Google Hangouts just for video chatting with each other. They have an app or they have the extension. And the extension is cool because once I click that, it pops open this little window down here, and I can grab my old conversations, or I can start a video hangout with someone really quickly and just chat and collaborate with someone on a video chat. I like that it saves my conversation, so I don't have to start a new window with people. We can kind of go back to our old conversations if we were using the text feature and pull up that information. So that is a really handy extension if you're a Google Hangouts user. All right. I am going to pause for just a second and see if, I'm gonna try one more time to get Lindsay on. We're having trouble getting her on. So give me just 1 second to send her a quick link again and see if we can get her. She had some really great ones to share that she is more familiar with than I am. So I don't want to give up just yet. Okay. We'll see if that works. Okay, I do have 2 more to share, and then if we can't get Lindsay in, I'll see if I can't share a couple of hers as well. But the next one is called Move It, and Move It is really fun. It builds movement breaks into your work time. So give me a sec. I'm gonna go back to screen share. Okay, Move It. So let's make sure this is going out to everybody. Up here, this little pink one is Move It. This is super fun. I turned it off because it kept popping up in the middle of my demo lesson today in a classroom, and I thought it would be a little weird if it popped up in the middle of our Hangout, although now I'm thinking it might be kind of fun to turn it on. So this is called Move It, one word, and I have intervals set up every 15. I'm going to set them every 5 just to see if it pops up before we close out here in the next couple minutes. And I will enable it. And what happens with Move It is as you're working at your computer, depending on what time interval you have set up, Move It will pop up an activity for you to do. So I'm just going to scooch this over real quick because I saved some screenshots of the stuff that popped up today while I was sitting at my computer. So here's one. This popped up in the middle of my work earlier this morning, and it prompted me to do 8 sit-ups or crunches. Ooh, is that Lindsay?
Hello.
Yay, okay. I'm going to stop screen sharing in a minute, and you will have the last 3. Woo! This was another, so we were just looking at Move It. Here are some of the things that popped up for me today that I thought were really fun. And in fact, I was doing a demo lesson in kindergarten, and I forgot to turn off Move It. And so in the middle of my demo lesson, a screen popped up. And so we just paused in the middle of our lesson, and me and all the kids did the little activity that popped up. So that was super fun. Yeah, that was fun. Have you used that, Lindsay? I like that one.
No, I haven't, but I've heard about it, so I should be trying that.
Check it out. It was cool. I just used it this week for the first time, and it was fun. But that was my last one. So perfect timing, and so glad that worked because I was really struggling to get you in after I got your text message. So I am turning it over to Lindsay.
Oh, what's that?
I'm turning it over to you now for your extensions.
Awesome. I don't even remember which ones I said I was going to share.
So you have OneTab and Bitmoji and Awesome Screenshot on here.
Lovely. I can't wait to share those.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and screen share. Sorry, I just ran in my house after bouncing meeting to meeting all day. So just kind of pulling it together myself. Let's see. I'll share my whole screen. You're probably seeing screen and screen and screen right now. Yeah.
Yes.
Did I go to a nicer background?
That's perfect.
Look at my drive. All right, so I got my extensions up here and probably 3 of my favorites. We'll start with OneTab because I do have quite the tab situation going on up above there. So OneTab I really like because when you click it, it is just like it sounds. It pulls everything down into OneTab. So I'm going to go ahead and click that extension now.
Uh-oh. We may have lost Lindsay. Bummer. We'll see if she can get back in, but basically what happens with OneTab is when she clicks that extension, it takes all those tabs that she had open and it brings them all down into one list. So you can save that document. So say, for example, a student is working on a project, they're looking up all sorts of things about tigers. Maybe they end up with 10 different tabs open about tigers and they don't want to have to Google all those things again in the future. If they use OneTab, they can click, save all of those links in one long list. And then they can save that document. So next time they go to work on that project, they have all of those tabs that were open at one time saved in one long list. So that's kind of a nice organizational tool for any of us like Lindsay and I that tend to work with 10 and 15 and 20 tabs open at the same time. The other 2, I have Bitmoji, and I don't know what she was going to share about it, but and I don't know about her third one, but I can show you Bitmoji real quick. It's kind of a fun tool for communication, not so much for the kids. This isn't something you could use with students because there is an age requirement on that, but on your personal account or on your work account, your Chrome work account, I'll just screen share real quick again. Bitmoji is fun for just sending quick little messages to your colleagues or your friends. You create a little avatar of yourself. So you would click on Get Started, create a little avatar of yourself, and then it gives you all sorts of cool little messages that you can download as an image and paste in your emails or put on a little document, or if you're on social media, it's kind of a fun one to use as like a social media icon if you don't like putting your picture up as a social media profile picture. So that is kind of a fun one for adults. But yeah, there's a 13 and over age limit on that one. So that would not be for the students, especially because some of those messages are probably not appropriate. There's nothing too crazy, but you probably don't want the students running into the, Wine Wednesday Bitmoji images and things like that. So that one is for the adults and is pretty fun. And then the last one I don't know, awesome screenshot, but something that is pushed out to all of the Chromebooks is the Google Classroom. So I will go back, there's no question. So I am gonna go back to sharing my screen for the very last one, and we'll show you the Google Classroom extension. So there's your Classroom extension up here. It looks like the little classroom icon. Oh, there's my Move It break. So this is what it would look like if you were working and your Move It pops up. Kind of fun. I could totally see the kids really liking this, and it's a really good, I was always terrible about remembering to give movement breaks. So this would be kind of a cool way to just automatically set those movement breaks. And so while kids are working, they have a chance to kind of stand up for a minute and stretch and all that good stuff. And then they hit done and it just disappears. Okay, so back to Google Classroom. I'm gonna go to Newsela. That's one of my favorite sites. So let's say there's an article on Newsela I wanna push out to all of my students. I can click on my Google Classroom extension, and it is going to load me a list of my classes right here. So now I don't need to necessarily copy, go into a new window, paste things in. I can just select from my extension what class I want to push out. This article, it grabbed the page for me. If I had opened to a specific article, it would grab that specific article. It says, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to just push it out to the students, or do you want to create an assignment? You can put all of your information right here for your assignment. Instructions due tomorrow, and then click assign or schedule it for later. Maybe I want it to push out on Friday morning instead. And then, oops, I have to fix this. I want to push out Friday. Oh, you're back, yay! I was just showing Google Classroom.
So, life lesson, at what point did you lose me?
Right when you clicked on Quick Tab. Oh, on OneTab. Oh, yes. Okay.
I one-tabbed out of the Google Hangout.
Good call. I wouldn't have thought of that, but that makes a lot of sense.
That's happened.
Perfect. Okay, good. We just did Google Classroom extension, which I thought of later, and I thought, oh, that would be really handy. So back to Lindsay.
Back to, well, let's see. Okay, so after you click the OneTab extension,
I've had a lot of tech trouble on this particular math minute, so this is going to be a good one.
Okay, so after you've clicked OneTab, I know you're still seeing me now because I just kept talking. I thought y'all were still there. Are you still there? Yeah?
We are now, yes.
Perfect. So after you clicked OneTab, it pulls all of your tabs into this nice OneTab, which is where you went last time I clicked OneTab. My Google Hangout closed on down into that tab. So what's nice about this extension is if you are pulling together a list of websites for students to visit, otherwise you would have to go to the website, copy the link, paste it in, to a list somewhere, and do that for each website that you want to direct them to. But if you're using OneTab, then you could just open up all the tabs to the websites that you wanted to go to, click OneTab, and then you can actually just share this URL with your students. So I really like that, which actually kind of leads to other extensions that I didn't plan on sharing, but there are URL shortener extensions like goo.gl. And so it's not working right now because apparently this is the Hangout with issues. So then you use your Bitly extension, which apparently also doesn't work during Hangouts. All right. So I really like OneTab also because I'm a person that opens a lot of tabs all the time. So when you click OneTab, just kind of makes your life a little more organized than having 50 tabs open. I was also going to share Bitmoji. And Bitmoji is just the most fun way to express any thoughts or feelings. It's definitely an extension for teachers and not for students. Because there are some Bitmojis that might be a little inappropriate for students to use. You don't want them using all of these. But with Bitmoji, as a teacher, I would definitely put this on my slides, to spruce them up and sort of personalize them for the students a little bit more. Put a Bitmoji on reminders or assignments, communications, and then put it on my classroom website. So I think Bitmoji just kind of makes any communication a little more fun. I know a lot of adults that are really into Bitmoji right now. And then when you have the extension too, it's nice because they're all just right there. You can save any of them as an image and share them. And awesome screenshot was the third one that I wanted to share. What I really like about Awesome Screenshot is you can take screenshots of your page, and actually, let's see, let me close these out. Maybe that's why it's not letting me take them. So do extensions not work when you're in a Google Hangout? Is this what we're learning?
I think so. Some of them work on certain pages, but not. So like I had another one that didn't work on a certain page too. So I had to go to one that had more text. Although, yeah, we've had a couple not work on the Hangout as well. So apologies to everyone viewing live. We're trying something new today.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's certain pages. So it didn't work on the OneTab page. So if I wanted to capture this entire page, so a regular screenshot, if you go Command-Shift-4, I can take a picture of this, right? But then there's parts down below that I can't get a picture of. Not sure why I want a picture of my entire drive, but let's just try it out. So if I wanted to capture the entire web page that I'm projecting, I could use Awesome Screenshot to do it. Oh, and it didn't get it down below there. But what's also nice is your edit tools come up right afterwards. So you can just crop it. And you can adjust the dimensions right after you've cropped it. A lot of times when you're taking screenshots, it's to direct people to information. So you could do arrows. You can add text. And you can really customize the image that you just took. And then when I say I am done, I've got options, and one of my favorites is that you can just export it directly out to your Google Drive. So you can also save it as an image file to your computer and print it directly. So I feel like it's just kind of a more straightforward and sort of like advanced features way of taking screenshots. And so I find myself using that one quite a bit. And I believe those were the 3 that I was going to share there. Yeah.
Yay, thank you.
It won't let me stop my screen share now.
Success.
There.
Yay, thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks, Amanda. What else did you guys talk about? What did I miss?
So we went over Cami, Screencastify, SpeakIt, which did not work live. But I promise it works. Ad block, which I love. Google Translate has a little extension that's super handy. So you don't have to go to the website. You can just highlight a word and it will translate it right there for you.
Nice.
Move It, which I think you were logged in when it popped up and gave us a movement break. And then Google Hangouts and Evernote Web Clipper. So we had a nice hefty list today.
That's a lot of good extensions there.
Indeed. And so that kind of wraps it up. We went a couple minutes long. Apologies to those of you that were logged in live today. We had a lot of tech trouble, but we're going to keep trying. I think that hopefully it will get better with time. All right. So thanks, everyone. And we will do another one probably next year. So maybe I can get Lindsay to do another hangout with us next year too.
Absolutely.
Yay!
Let's do it.
All right. Hope everyone has a great afternoon.
Okay.
Bye, y'all.